All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's Ryan Hassan from the Center for Healing here. I'm joined by my go-to whenever I've got an issue with my physical health or my gut health or whatever it is with my physical body. I go to Holly Sinclair from the Woman series, and I've got here on today just to maybe ask a few questions and get a few tips around how we can best manage ourselves during these ISO times. Holly, how are you?
ISO life. I'm
I,
good.
hashtag ISO life.
ISO fit, they're calling it these days.
Yeah, isn't that like an Isogenics tagline?
Well, it could be if it's not. I'm well. I'm well. I'm trying to navigate the paleo way while not being able to access a lot of supermarkets and all that sort of stuff. So,
How are you doing that?
well, maybe it can be my first tip. Um, One of the things that we committed to, like right from the get go, was ordering from local butchers. So in Melbourne, there's a company called Hagen's Organics, and they just deliver to your door each week. It's all cryovac and it's like grass fed organic meat. But even if that's too costly for people, there's still butchers out there that aren't, biodynamic, organic, all of that sort of song and dance that can still deliver to your door. So yeah, we've been doing that, and they also give you a seasonal box of veggies.
Oh, nice.
And I've actually found that because we don't know what vegetables are going to come each week, like it's
Mhm.
just whatever's out of their garden, that it's actually forcing us to be a lot more creative
Mm.
and like taste new flavors, and it's actually been really really good. It's a bit of
It's
it
like
been a bit
it's
of
like you're getting a mystery box on MasterChef.
yeah, yeah, that's what it's like. Like we know what meat we're going to get, but yeah, we never know what vegetables. So that's sort of how we've been surviving.
Oh,
How
nice. So really don't make excuses. Yeah, there's always a way to still keep on your nutrition. And like I think we do have options. Like I'm in Thailand at the minute, and like we think people are doing it rough back in Australia. We had some ladies we were speaking to the other day, and they were at a point where they were out catching. There's these massive cicada things that live in the trees here, like giant things. They make so much noise, but they were like catching them and deep frying them because they were running out of food, right? So they're getting their protein in, so other people shouldn't be making excuses.
Yeah, well, where there's a will, there's a way, brother. But I definitely think, and like, also for us, it's important to make sure that those types of companies survive
Mm.
this whole scenario because we depend on them for our health, right? So, yeah, it was important to us to not use like a Woolworth online process and shift our voting with our wallet basically
Good.
towards
So it's a win-win. It's a
yeah,
win-win. I like it.
for
And
sure.
what and
So
what about that's nutrition? Let's talk about exercise and physical health. What are you up to there?
well, training every day.
Yep.
So just I'm just taking the opportunity because as you know, I've bulged a disc in my back multiple times,
You and me
and
both. High five for the disc bulge.
your lovely partner Mel did a treatment with me and actually released a lot of stuff, which helped a lot. Um, but yeah, being locked down has meant that I haven't been tempted by weightlifting or going on a horse ride, and it's just allowed me to do a lot of that sort of more rehab style training, which I actually think everybody should be doing while they're home because we often use the excuse of time to not do the minimal movements that we should be doing. So yeah, I've just stuck to like a lot of body weight, a lot of like animal flow. So like Ido Portal style of training or gymnastic style of training. And I find like my body's feeling like really, really good for it. And then also like we're playing again. Like so I live with my brother and my partner and my mum. And so like we're walking down to the basketball courts, we're playing ball, we've like drawn up a hopscotch out the front of our house. We've got a four square going. So
That's
like we're
awesome.
actually like having lots of fun and playing and moving our body in that sort of field. So
Yeah, nice.
yeah,
It's all these things like whether it's stretching or your mobility stuff, and we're always like, yeah, I've never got time to do that, and now I've got all the time in the world, but we're still not doing it.
yep, 100% agree. And like, that probably flows in to the other aspect of spirituality and mental health at the moment. Because for me, like one thing that I'm so grateful for being in lockdown is like I have so much time to dedicate to my meditation and my journaling practices, which were part of my routine before this, but they weren't consistently like every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I have the luxury to do it with, like, I don't have an alarm each morning and do it every single day, my meditation, I just like am a different person now. Like, it's wild.
Yeah, wow.
Mindfulness, it really does evolve your brain. I mean, I don't know what your opinion is about this stuff, but I just think like even just the practice of doing it, that alone has like changed me in the sense that, you know, I've committed to something for my benefit that I have ticked off every single morning. And I do personally think like the actual practice of it is changing the way that I like have my thoughts and, you know, look at my day ahead and all that sort of stuff. But even if you don't believe in that, just doing the practice, right?
Yeah, and if people, it is doing the practice, it's committing to yourself and doing what you say that you're going to do. So you automatically build up a bit of self-worth in that aspect. But also the probably most famous study for this was out of Harvard, the mindfulness study, which was done. So they would do brain scans on these yogis who'd been meditating their whole life versus your average Joe who hadn't done much mindfulness or meditation. And there was quite very drastic differences in the shape of their brain. And so you can't really draw too many conclusions from that because there may have been many other lifestyle factors like diet and exercise, whatever it was along that period. So they took a control group who had done little to no mindfulness throughout their life, maybe dabbled here and there, and took brain imaging at the start of the 8 weeks, and then 8 weeks later, brain imaging at the end. For those 8 weeks, they would do mindfulness practice every day. It was 26 minutes, I believe, and then they saw the difference in their brain just after 8 weeks, right? So 2 months. And what they noticed was there were many changes in the brain. The two most impressive ones, I guess, was the hippocampus grew in size, so more grey matter in the hippocampus. Like our brain, you know, we know neuroplasticity says that our brain will change over our lifetime. It's not set. So hippocampus, memory, critical thinking, that kind of jazz, which is fantastic. The more impressive one, I think, is that the amygdala shrunk. So the amygdala, in charge of our fight or flight, anxiety, it's kind of the alarm system or guard dog of the brain. It actually shrunk in size. So for anyone who would like to shrink the part of their brain in charge of anxiety, start meditating.
Well, especially at the moment, right? Because I was just saying to Ryan before we decided to record some content, like I haven't been watching any media or really spending any time on social media, but there's so much fear circulating around our communities at the moment, whether it be about the actual virus or about what's happening economically or being locked in the house or whatever it might be. But yeah, just doing those practices to buffer those fearful components of our brain, like the amygdala, are just so important. And I find, like, for me, I use Sam Harris because I just like that he's very pragmatic. It's not woo-woo stuff.
Is that the Waking Up app?
Yeah, it's fucking amazing. And he's given it out for free at the moment because he's all about helping people be more mindful. But what I find is that I'm just a lot more present. Like, my thoughts aren't veering off into, well, what's going to happen next week or what's going to happen in a month's time, or and they're not like stewing on what has happened either. It's just, I'm here today. I'm grateful for my time today. I get to hang out with Ryan over Zoom. You know, like I feel like the mindfulness practices coupled by the good nutrition and the movement of my body have just really allowed me to cope a lot better than, unfortunately, a lot of other people at the moment. And I really do put that down to the fact that I do those things for my health.
Yeah, and those things they're so manageable at the minute. Like, we can do those things, and it's not that hard. And I think it's very important that you said you've been doing it every day, because it seems to me that with the mindfulness or meditation practice, it really is building up that continuity of every day. That's the thing. So it's like
Yeah.
when a lot of people will ask, like, what meditation should I do? Because there's so much, there's so many apps, and there's different types. There's Vipassana, there's transcendental meditation, there's just mindfulness meditation, there's all breath work, all that kind of stuff. It's like, just do what you're going to stick to at the end of the day, because it's better to do it every day, even for 5 or 10 minutes, than to skip a few days, then try and do half an hour, and then skip a few days or do an hour. It's better to have that continuity each day.
It's so true, man. So
Otherwise,
true.
you'll make excuses. You'll be like, I can't. I want to watch YouTube or whatever it is, and you just bail out on it. Because when you do the continuity like you're doing now, you're now seeing the results of that continuity, which then give you more incentive to keep going. So you've created this real positive feedback loop, which is awesome.
Yeah. Well, I was about to say I'm probably somewhat a bit addicted to it, but I probably shouldn't say that. It's just like shifting one addiction to another. But
no, hang on. I'm going to pull you up here. Let's define addiction, right?
oh, okay, yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
any
good.
any behavior, right? So it doesn't have to be substance, and it can be meditation. Any behavior that I find craving to do or relief in, so probably tick those boxes, okay? But despite it having negative consequences in other areas of my life, I am unable to stop.
I like that.
So you're getting positive enforcement in other areas of your life.
It's a good one to have, brothers.
So if I was meditating purely to escape, or if I was like fobbing off my responsibilities to go and meditate, and or paying thousands of dollars for meditation retreats and being in debt and all that kind of jazz, now I can become addicted to it.
That's very good to know, to have that definition between negative and positive.
Yeah, because otherwise you could just say otherwise I could say I'm addicted to water.
Well, I mean, sometimes I think these things,
Yeah. You got to have a definition there. Awesome. Well, they're really good, manageable tips. Stay on top of your nutrition. You can order in from great companies like, who were the ones that you said?
Melbourne, Hagen's Organics is amazing.
Hagen's Organics, delivery. Don't fuck off on your diet. Move every day. Get this body moving. We are built to move as human beings. We are. That's what we're all about. And for mental and spiritual, some sort of mindfulness practice, and that can be different for anyone. But check out Sam Harris's Waking Up app if he's offering that free at the minute. Try it.
Yeah. And just to finish off, like, even all of those things, if you are like worrisome about the actual virus, doing things to assist your lymphatic system, like moving your body, or making sure you're putting nutriently dense foods into your cells so that they can cope better. Or, like, as our favorite, Bruce Lipton and Joe Dispenza always talk about, the thoughts that you think create the illness or the health of your cells. So these practices are beneficial on all levels of what's happening right now, not just sort of the stress of having to stay at home. So yeah, definitely they're my top 3 for sure.
And actually there's a 4th one, which might be the most important, the one that you said, have fun.
Oh yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah. Have fun. We've picked up chess.
Chess? Nice.
Yep.
How do you go on the chessboard? Do you go all right?
Creaming him.
Yeah?
Not really. He's doing a lot better than me. But it's nice. Like we actually, and you know what the other thing that we're doing? Because I live with my family. We actually sit down for dinner every night.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
No phones,
no
TVs. And I'm like, wow.
Like, people used to do this all the time.
Yeah. So, if you are lucky enough to be in an environment with other people, take the opportunity, like, one, to cook a home cooked meal, and then sit at the table and converse and talk about stuff. And yeah, it's just, I don't know about you, but in a weird way, I think what's happening in the world at the moment has left me with a deep sense of gratitude for my life. And I think, and I know this is a little bit, bit fucked up, but because there's such a high level of suffering, it really allows me to go, wow, I'm so lucky. Like, I've got a roof over my head. I've got nutritious food on the table. And that's really all I need. Like, and I've got a loving family, So I think if you're in the same situation as me, where, you might not be able to see your mates, or you might not be able to go to the gym, but like really take this opportunity to understand how grateful we all are for the very basic and primitive values that we sort of give up for granted a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's so good. It's well, as humans, we're story making machines and we give everything a frame of reference or a story. So what's happening right now is happening, and whether people suffer or not, or the degree of that suffering, will depend a lot upon the story they're telling about what's happening. And if you tell a story of how grateful you are for your life, then you're going to come out of this in a different place than if we say this is bad and shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
So we've both got to run. So
where can people find you?
Doing the Thailand.
Apart from on your bed.
Yes, thewomenseries.com or the Women's Series on Instagram.
Awesome. Thank you, Holly.
Thanks, Ryan. I'll chat to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.